Hey guys, this is Bandito Bane, the well-rounded nerd, the Super Spider-Man fan, and the Warhammer dude. It is the holiday season, and 2025 is coming into an end, and we are getting close to the new 2026 year. And what will this mean for Spider-Man? Well, right now, the Spider-Man Wolverine is wrapping up, which will end next year. Age of Revelations will continue their 5-issue run with Sinister Six and Radioactive Spider-Man. And of course, we're going to have the DC crossover between Spider-Man and Superman. First, it's going to be DC publishing Superman Spider-Man, and on top of that, we will get Marvel publishing Spider-Man Superman. But unfortunately, the Ultimate Universe is going to end, and this will end with Ultimate Endgame number 5, and that will be it. Then next year on January will be the last issue of Ultimate Spider-Man, issue 24. So 2 years of great storytelling, great character development, all gone. But of course we still have Venom, and we still have Spider-Man, but ASM has not been so good. I mean, there has been some good things with the Norman Osborn as Spider-Man story, but also some bad things with the Mary Jane as Venom story. But there was one good outcome when Mary Jane finally ended it with Paul, but immediately she's trying to get with Flash on the rebound, not knowing that Peter is missing. And this all came because she poured her heart out to Peter during a scene in Amazing Spider-Man number 19. Turns out this wasn't Peter at all, it was Ben Reilly. Ben Reilly is basically on Earth screwing up Peter's life as Peter Parker. And all this is going on while Peter is in space, after Hellgate knocked him into space, which we still don't know how. And that has always been something that's been bugging me. How the hell did Hellgate, a guy who looks like a reject from God of War, knock Peter into space? So right now he's seeing what has been going on with the after the Imperials saga and everything that has been happening in space. He's teaming up with Rocket. He has a one-night stand with an alien chick. He even decided to go back home in the latest issue of Spider-Man, and that's what we're going to see. We're going to see a rematch between Spider-Man and Hellgate. I keep forgetting his name because he just doesn't seem like an important character. Well, we're going to see a rematch between Spider-Man and Hellgate. But there's going to be some more going on. The upcoming Death Spiral, and I'm going to get into it right now. So, let me know. I'll let you know what I think about it. So, the first thing I want to talk about is the ending of Ultimate Spider-Man. Ultimate Spider-Man was supposed to end in December of 2025, but now it has been pushed back until February of 2026. And after that, Ultimate Endgame will officially end the Ultimate Marvel Universe, and this has always been Jonathan Hickman's plan. He put it as a 2-year event, and he didn't want it to get convoluted as it ended up getting in his X-Men Krakoa era, so he gave it a 2-year gap. But this will ultimately be bad for fans of Ultimate Spider-Man because they always saw this as a great alternative to the terrible writing that was happening in Amazing Spider-Man at that time, because when Ultimate Spider-Man began, it basically was around the time that Zeb Wells was continuing to wind down his run. And Ultimate Spider-Man was outsold Amazing Spider-Man for 18 months, and it has been named one of the greatest ongoing Spider-Man comic books for all those months. And all that was because they had Spider-Man grow up. He was married to Mary Jane. They had children, and he was a functional adult. He wasn't this constant screw up that they keep portraying him as in the current Spider-Man run. So this has gotten Marvel into a lot of hot water, but we'll talk about that later. Right now, we are going to be talking about what is going to entail after Ultimate Spider-Man and the Ultimate Marvel Universe ends. Well, that was answered in Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion. And in that story, Miles went into the new Ultimate Universe to try to find his sister who had been lost in that universe. And he ended up working with the Ultimates to get the Maker boxes out from that universe, so the Maker could not use them anymore when he returns. And this is really what is going to happen. Will lead up to the next event in Marvel, with One World Under Doom ending this year. It is going, or last year, I'm sorry, it is going to be a big crossover between Miles Morales' Spider-Man, the Avengers, and the Fantastic Four, as it says that most likely Valeria is going to get those boxes, and she is going to create a future which Dr. Doom wanted. But this is all just assumptions, as it is going to lead to Armageddon, which is an event that's going to begin in July and will go on the next few months and into 2027. And this will involve most likely Miles Morales, Spider-Man, like I said, the X-Men, the Avengers, and the Fantastic Four. No word on if Peter Parker Spider-Man is going to be in there, but he will most likely make an appearance once in a while. But there is something else that Spider-Man will be involved in, and that is basically the first crossover event that's going to happen with Spider-Man, Venom, and Carnage. But before we get to 616, let's talk about the DC Marvel crossover that's happening in 2026. First, it will be a re-release of the facsimile comic of Superman vs. Spider-Man, and then there will be two crossovers, one in March and another in April. The first one in March will be released by DC, and the main story, which is going to be written by Mark Waid and Jorge Jimenez. Then there will be additional stories similar to the type of content that was in Batman Dead of this year, with other writers and artists from the DC comic books circle to provide their talents for telling off these stories. One of them will be Lois Lane and Mary Jane Watson, and this will be written by Tom King with art by Jim Lee. Other stories will be Matt Fraction and Steve Lieber teaming up to do a story of Jimmy Olsen meeting Carnage. Sean Murphy goes to the future with Superboy Legion and Spider-Man 2099. Gail Simone will team up with Belino Ortega to do Power Girl and the Punisher, and Christopher Priest and Daniel Supreme are going to do story between Superboy Prime and the Black Suit Spider-Man, and finally Greg Rucka and Nicola Scott will do the Daily Bugle and the Daily Planet crossover. Plus, we will get a meeting of the mentors as Jeff Lemire and Rafa Sandoval will have Pa Kent meet Uncle Ben. Not much is known what teams are going to work on the Marvel published comic book, which is going to come out in April, which is going to be titled Spider-Man, Superman, but this is going to include other Marvel writers and artists which are going to help bring this series together. And this is actually going to be in celebration of the 50th anniversary of the first ever DC comic book and crossover with Marvel. So this is going to, that is why Facsimile is re-releasing Superman vs. Spider-Man. And this is basically one of the first major events that is going to happen. But then we have two other events that are going to happen in the main 616 universe. Now, a quick recap of what has been going on in the mainline Spider-Man continuity. Peter Parker right now is in space. Norman Osborn is pretending to be Spider-Man. Ben Reilly is pretending to be Peter Parker. Mary Jane is Venom, and Eddie Brock is Carnage. But that's not all that has happened this year. We have seen the end of one of the worst relationships that has happened ever since Avengers 200. If you know, you know. And finally, we see at least some capable writing from the new Spider-Man writer, Joe Kelly. But this is just all surface level stuff. Right now, there are going to be two events that are lining up that will happen among Spider-Man's continuity. The first one is going to happen called Death Spiral, and it is going to be a crossover with Amazing Spider-Man, Venom, and Carnage. And this kind of crossover has not been seen since Maximum Carnage, when Carnage was first introduced. But this is also came off sometimes unplanned, because they did not plan for Eddie Brock's book to be canceled after 10 issues, which was kind of sad. I really like that book. But in February, Peter Parker is going to return from space. He is going to figure out that Mary Jane and Venom are one, and Eddie Brock is going to return to New York. But on top of that, there's going to be another serial killer, which is going after Peter Parker's loved ones. And this serial killer Torment is basically someone who knows who Spider-Man's secret identity is, and he has Shocker's gloves, and he seems to have a symbiote of his own. Now, this event is going to go on for at least 3 months. This is post-editing Bandito. After doing a little bit more research, I just learned that Death Spiral is only going to be 9 issues, and it's only going to be a 2-month event. And it will be at least 12 issues, maybe more. But there are going to be some secrets that are going to be that are going to be found out, and maybe even more substantial events that are going to happen. But the next event that is going to happen will be the Queen in Black, and that is basically going to show Hela taking over Knull's power, or maybe Knull is giving Hela his power and making her his queen. And it was revealed that Knull was taken prisoner by Hela, and on top of that, we are going to get a miniseries starring Knull himself, and this was revealed along with Death Spiral in the New York City Comic Con, and we are going to be seeing this going on, and this is going to be going on simultaneously with the countdown to issue 1000, and already a lot of people are wondering what are their plans for issue 1000. What will we do with issue 1000 of ASM? And the thing is, I don't know what they're going to do. I have almost lost faith with what the current editorial staff has been going on. The only way I could see this being a turning point for Spider-Man is if they undo one of the worst, and I mean the worst, storylines in Spider-Man history, and that is One More Day. For so long, fans have been asking for One More Day to be retconned and basically have Peter and Mary Jane be back together again. And so far, none of it has been really answered, but they're getting closer and closer to issue 1000 of The Amazing Spider-Man, and whatever they're planning, they need to do it quicker because of the cancellation of Eddie Brock's book. They're going to be releasing 3 issues in April and actually 3 issues in March and in May. So March and May, they will be releasing 3 issues of Amazing Spider-Man, and these will be in conjunction with Death Spiral. But right now we're still heading closer to issue 1000, and to celebrate that, Marvel wants to release their upcoming new Spider-Man movie, which is going to be starring Tom Holland and Homecoming. And so let's talk about that right now. Now, the final thing I want to talk about is basically that Spider-Man is going to be continuing his film franchise with Tom Holland and Zendaya returning to reprise their roles as Peter Parker and MJ with Spider-Man Brand New Day. Other characters are set to appear is Sadie Sink as Nobody Knows, either Gwen Stacy or maybe even Carly Cooper. Michael Mando as the Scorpion. John Bernthal will reprise his role as the Punisher. Rapper Corndon, sorry, I mispronounced your name. He will be premiering as Tombstone, and there's going to be some other cameos such as Mark Ruffalo as Hulk and Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. And we'll be getting most likely a trailer when this comes out of Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, which is going to be the final movie of the Spider-Verse trilogy. And that movie is set to come out in 2027. So that is basically what we have right now on the big screen that is coming out from Marvel in the MCU. And this has been a nightmare to film for some of them. I have heard that Tom Holland suffered a skull fracture during one of the stunts, and he had to take a few weeks off, which put filming in limbo, but he came back and finished the movie, and it's going to be coming out in the summer of 2026, so I don't know how this is going to go on. Another rumor is that either Sadie Sink, her character is either going to be Gwen Stacy or Carly Cooper, which was the girlfriend who became Spider-Man's girlfriend after One More Day, or she may be even Mary Jane Watson herself. And this will basically have like Zendaya just being another person known as MJ. I don't know what is going to happen, but I do like the Marvel MCU Spider-Man movies because I'm a big Spider-Man fan, and I think that these were the ones that were the best within the MCU. But let me give you my final thoughts of what's going on in the Spider-Man, what's going to happen in Spider-Man in 2026. And that is basically everything that that's going to happen in Spider-Man 2026. And it's a stacked year. We have some sad departures with Ultimate Spider-Man ending. We have some upcoming great comics, which in the DC Marvel crossover, and we have some let's just wait and see with the mainline continuity. For a lot of people, Spider-Man is a symbol and a great friend for us, and I just hope that Marvel can stop trying to just make him so relatable to younger readers by making him this unbelievably idiotic, irresponsible form. And also I hope they redeem Mary Jane's character as she was because of the Zeb Wells run. It has completely destroyed her character to some readers, and this really has left a sour taste in a lot of Spider-Man fans' mouth. But that is going to do it for me today. I hope you guys got everything you wanted in Christmas. Have yourself a happy new year, and I'll see you guys all in